What is going on, Hoops fans? Just want to get a quick video up on the page, and in today's video we are going to talk about some free agency news that came out today from two potential Knicks targets, two of the biggest guys on the free agency market outside of Kevin Durant. Now, the Knicks, since I've been watching the team since the early 90s, have always needed a point guard. They've never had any stability at that position, and two of the top 5 or 6 point guards in the NBA are on the open market. And we've all heard the rumors about Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, of course, before Kevin Durant's injury. But even before then, we were starting to hear whispers that Kyrie Irving may not be interested in joining the New York Knicks. Of course, Kevin Durant's injury is probably going to make that even worse. And as far as Kemba Walker goes, that was always just some speculation. There wasn't a lot to that. But Kemba Walker, of course, comes from the tri-state area, played for UConn. Thought maybe he'd want to take on the big city and try to expand his brand. But the news that came out today, we'll start with Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker, of course, when he received the All-NBA honors, made it even less likely that he would sign somewhere else because the Hornets had the ability to sign him to a supermax deal, which actually enabled them, it was even more than I thought, to give him $80 million more than anybody else. Now, of course, I believe it was for one more year, so he'd probably be able to sign like a 4-year contract, for example, with the Knicks, and a 5-year with the Hornets, but it would still be $80 million, and he hit the open market 1 year earlier, so he'd never be able to make up that money. But what Kemba Walker came out today and said, he locked it up. I mean, if what he is saying is true, if the Hornets have any interest in bringing this guy back, he will be with the Hornets. He came out and said today that he would take less to stay with the Hornets and that they are his #1 priority. So Kemba Walker, to me, will not be a New York Knick. You could cross him off the list. And Kyrie Irving, a report came out today as well, was on Bleacher Report, said by a credible reporter out of Boston that he fully intends to sign with the Brooklyn Nets. Now, take that for what you will. Maybe true, maybe not, but there has been a lot of smoke to these Kyrie Irving rumors going to the Brooklyn Nets, which leads me to believe that the Knicks are either going to get a really big fish or they're not going to get anybody that big. They'll probably get some okay players, but nobody big. Kevin Durant, of course, the news came out today that he will miss the remainder of next year. That is now not up for speculation. He is going to miss all of next season, and the Knicks supposedly are still at least interested in potentially kicking the tires and seeing what is there. Now, maybe they could get Durant on a discount, but for a max deal, that is really rolling the dice. But getting Durant this year is not going to help us acquire anybody else. That is clearly evident. Because why? What does that do for a player like Kyrie Irving or a Kemba Walker? You're not going to win this year with the New York Knicks no matter what. So we'll wait and see. The Knicks, of course, are still in on Kawhi Leonard, but it remains very unlikely. And Anthony Davis, same story. I guess they're kind of in on him, kicking the tires, but remains very unlikely. So there you go. The point guards are starting to fall off the table. Now, to be fair, now that Durant is not really an option, even if they do sign me, he will not be playing for the Knicks next year. I'm kind of glad that they're staying away from these guys. Not that they're staying away. They're not interested in coming here. But Kyrie Irving's aren't going to win you championships as the alpha. And we don't know if Kevin Durant's ever going to be an alpha. So, and with Kyrie Irving's injury history, you're wasting a year on that contract. I'm kind of happy that they're staying away from those two players, to be honest with you. I don't think they're the types of players that win you championships as the alpha. Maybe as a second option, sure, but, Knicks are I think they're going to stand pat here unless they get a big ticket guy and continue the youth movement and, continue to try to build the team the right way and maybe get a big player in the future, but I think we're just going to have to be patient, Knicks fans, and hope the Knicks can continue to acquire talent via the draft. If they have another poor season next year, they'll get another high pick. You'll continue to get young, youthful, talented players. So that's where the Knicks stand right now. Kemba Walker, Kyrie Irving look like there is no chance they will be New York Knicks next year. But as always, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe. Drop a comment. Maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.